Hello, everyone. My name is Mark Fortin, and I'm here for Michigan Matters. Um, I'd like to talk about a few things today that in the news and going on that I think we should all consider. For one thing, I'd like to start off on something a little bit different in the sense that I'm so tired of our nation being called a democracy, especially among Republicans who ought to know better. You talk to the very best Republicans, and in public, they will over again mention democracy. We are not a democracy. We are a republic. We are a nation of laws, and your rights and mine, no matter what color, creed, national origin, our rights are given to us by God and guaranteed by our Constitution. Our government's job is to protect and not attack our rights. A democracy is majority rule, and it's like what they're trying to do with our elections. They're trying to get rid of the electors and go by a popular vote. With a democracy, the majority, 50% plus one, can vote to remove your rights, take away your gun rights, your freedom of speech, your freedom of religion, anything they want. That's what happens in a democracy. But in a republic, those basic core rights are given to us by our Creator, and they cannot be taken away. The majority has no right to vote away your rights or mine. And that's a very important distinction. Our Republicans ought to know that, but very rarely do we hear a Republican refer to the Republic. And I think that's very important, and it's something we should keep in mind. And once in a while, we'll bring it up on this podcast. Anyway, as you know, there's been a controversy over this gift to the U.S. government of this airplane. And that's aggravating, in my opinion, because as a close friend of mine brought up a little while ago, we can leave $80 billion worth of equipment in Afghanistan, but oh my goodness, someone wants to give us an airplane. Isn't that terrible? It's maddening, the thinking today. What's the matter with rational thought? Can't we use rational thought when things happen? It's just incredible to me. And our own Republicans, Nikki Haley, the neocon Bush person, she's criticizing it. And along with wonderful Mike Pence, another great big American hero, he's criticizing it. Ben Shapiro, of all people, he's criticizing it. And it's maddening to think that Republicans are against receiving. I mean, we give to all over the world, disasters, whatever. We give, and oh my goodness, Qatar wants to give us an airplane. Oh, that's totally terrible. So I wanted to bring that up. I'm all for receiving the gift, to saying thank you very much. It's very kind, thank you, and just leave it go at that. Now, in Newsweek today, I think it is, I saw it online, our big, wonderful bill finally passed. The president went to Congress yesterday to work on getting it passed. Now, you recall a previous video we did where I Googled the U.S. Congress and their activity for the first 100 days. And in that Google response, it was noted there was only 5 bills passed by Congress in 100 days, and that was notably less than what's normal. So here we have a Republican president with a mandate by the American people. That means these congressmen, I don't care if they're a dang Democrat, they got a mandate. The people of the United States wants this mess fixed, and they elected a man to do it. And their job, Republican and Democrat, Senate and House, their job is to see that that mandate is codified into law. He signed 140 executive orders. How many have been codified by law? And then when they do it, they put sunset clauses in there because they're hoping the Democrats will take over eventually and flip it back to the way it was that they're all so confident with. We just love to reach across the aisle. We like to talk about our comrades, and we like to get the dark money, the PAC money, and everything else. Our Congress is dragging their feet in the hopes that 2026 ends the Trump presidency by giving away the House and or the Senate and preventing his agenda, the people's agenda, from going through. It's maddening. The whole thing is maddening. So this bill finally passed, 214 to 215, one vote. I guess you could say 2, because if it tied, well, whatever. But anyway, Thomas Massie, big time Republican, voted against it. And a guy named, what's the other one here? I'm sorry, forgive me. Warren Davison, he's from Ohio. He voted against it. There should be no Republicans voting against it. There was no Democrats voting for it. I mean, it was fair as fair. It's incredible. You can't make this stuff up, ladies and gentlemen, but it's happened last time. It happened last time when Trump was in power. So they don't want him to succeed. Our Republicans don't want him to succeed. So now it goes to the U.S. Senate, and there's a bunch of rats in the Senate, too. I mean, we have McConnell. We have all these people. Thune, who's supposed to be the big-time hero, he's the leader. Is he going to get this through the Senate? We just don't know. But it better get through the Senate, because I know with us, we're going to call it out the way it is. These Republicans have to come in line. The people of the United States gave Trump and indirectly them a mandate. The people of the United States want a balanced budget. They want all these things. And by the way, talking about a balanced budget, Thomas Massie said he voted against it because it adds to the debt. Now, if you remember Trump's first term, there was a big tax cut too. Of course, with that, they had to put a sunset clause in because they were hoping he'd never come back and they could go back to the old days and tax us to death again, including half our Republicans. So anyway, Thomas Massie's worried about the increased debt. When Trump cut taxes before, the government took in more money. It's what works. It's what happens all the time. You cut taxes, the government brings in more money. So you've got to give this system a chance. Now, I know that that's spending a little bit. It's $4.9 trillion tax breaks is what this bill is on the American people. $4.9 trillion. Now, some will say, oh, that goes to businesses, some of it. Well, guess what? Businesses pay taxes too, and businesses provide jobs. If they're not making money, there's no jobs. Everybody hates his tariffs, but there's already companies coming to America. That's jobs. Jobs means tax revenue. It means money going into Social Security. These people can't think. Why can't they think? Why can't they analyze anything? The education system in America has vacuumed people of logical thought. Okay, everybody works on emotion, and nobody thinks about what the hell they're talking about. So this Massie, he can pound sand for all I care about. I mean, this guy should have voted for this program. And let's see what happens, because guess what, folks? If it don't work, you vote it out. If it don't work, they'll be glad to write a bill repealing it. Boy, they'll line up from here to Cincinnati to repeal the damn thing. So give it a chance. But the Republicans included don't want to give Trump a chance because they know that he's going to help shake this country off its socialist path, because we're still on that socialist path, ladies and gentlemen. For 100 years, the socialists have been working in the United States to overcome the United States and destroy our Constitution. They call it a living document, all this kind of garbage. It's trying to steal our rights, more gun laws, more speech laws, more anything you can think of to erode our Constitution. We're so blessed to have this man willing to make this sacrifice to try to straighten out this country. And the people gave him an overwhelming mandate to do it. Look at Doge. Look at the money wasted. Look at these socialist communist Democrats. They're complaining about Doge. You saw the list of where this money's going. It's your money. When we're in debt, we're in a republic. It means we are responsible for the debt because we elect these people and give them license to spend that damn money. So if America collapses, guess who owes? It ain't going to go away. They're not going to be able to print more money when it's totally worthless. So we have to start thinking as citizens, what on earth is going on here, and start really thinking about it. And when you hear Democrats, and especially Republicans, talking against Trump, we got to really think about what's going on here. I think Trump said that this guy Massie ought to be primaried. Well, I hope so. We got to start primarying these people and getting rid of them, because it comes to the point now with America. If Trump fails and we fail, America will be a socialist state. They will go right back to what it was, and they're going to destroy this country. They came awfully close. So we have to decide if we want victory or not. We have to decide for our children's future. We did it in 2024. We worked our butts off to get Trump elected. But now many people, I think, I could be wrong, but many people are comfortable now thinking, oh, we elected President Trump, life is good. Well, it's not done yet. We need legislation. Executive orders are wonderful to get the ball rolling, but they don't fix things. And we need a Congress, instead of being a bunch of deadbeat team players, both sides, reach across the aisle garbage. When you reach across the aisle and you're Republican, you're shaking hands with a communist. That's what you're doing. Pure and simple. Everything they do mimics a communist takeover of a country. Destroy its history, tear down its statues, create chaos. Oh, we don't know what a man and a woman is. All this kind of nonsense. That's what you do when you're a communist. You rip everything apart, you cause confusion and chaos. That's how they take a nation. And we are going to lose our nation. So we've got to decide right now. We've got the 2026 elections. We must win these midterms. We have to find good people to run. But even if a good person don't get through the primary, we have to support the Republican in November in order to keep the majority, in order to have a hope of making changes. And that's what has to happen. Trump needs 4 years, and these people have to be taught. There's a new sheriff in town. The American people have taken over. We want our freedoms and our rights back. We want our education back. We're sick and tired of parents being called terrorists by our own damn government. I mean, give me a break. This stuff's got to stop, and it's up to us to stop it. So I hope and pray that you get involved in this effort, because we have got to win the midterms. So anyway, I'd like to move on. I got a comment about courts. And here where Michigan matters, right? We care about Michigan. I know we're talking about this big bill, but this big bill affects Michigan, right? But anyway, you ever hear of Katie Hopkins? Katie Hopkins is a British journalist, and she loves America. She loves Trump, and she really loves her own country, and she wants to see it fixed. And England right now is in a big mess. Like the rest of Europe, they're losing their freedom of speech and everything else. And she brought up today a lady named Lucy Connolly. She's a British mom, and she's been in prison for 284 days for putting out a tweet. She put out a tweet that some people found offensive. I'm not even sure what it is, to tell you the truth. It doesn't really matter. On X. And then she pulled it. But enough people saw it to complain, and they took her to court, and they threw her in prison. She's been there for 284 days. Now, they had a hearing where she was literally begging to get it reduced. The judge says no, right? And it's interesting because that same judge cut a convict 3 years off his sentence who raped a 9-year-old. Now, I know that's England in English courts, but right now, as we are here, we have the Michigan electors, after 3 years, are still in court, and they didn't do anything wrong, nothing wrong whatsoever. They never committed a crime. They never committed fraud. I mean, it's a maddening situation, but it's all political. Look what happened to General Flynn. Same thing. The man lost everything. Do people get made whole when the government charges them, but they finally are found innocent after they spent everything, their families, and everything? After they spend it all, lose everything, they're found innocent. Oh, congratulations, General Flynn. Congratulations, electors. You're innocent. Our court system is absolutely corrupt. You can see that, what's going on with Trump now and before. That those 30-some convictions, a crime with no victims, and all this sort of thing. And they found him guilty. And now, what's going on now with these corrupt, capital C, corrupt district judges. By what right? There is nothing in the Constitution. Read it. I should have brought a copy. It's just a little pamphlet. Our Constitution is the law of the land, and it's like 10 pages in a little pamphlet like this. So there's nothing in there allowing a district judge to determine foreign policy. Are you kidding me? It's insane. It's laughable on its surface. It's amazing that the stupid media, of course, the media are communists too. They are supporting the communist movement in the United States. And I'll say the word communist. You can talk socialism all you want. The next door socialism, first you become socialist, then you're communist. And the Democrats are communists. The stuff they're doing, look at history. And again, that's a problem because we're not taught history. You look at history and how the communists took over Russia, how they took over every nation. Chaos, destroy the history, blah, blah, blah. The same darn thing the Democrats are doing today. So that's why I brought up the Katie Hopkins story, or I should say the Lucy Connolly story, because we're on that road. We are going to be in a position, if we fail, our country is quickly going to move into socialism, and we will not have a freedom of speech. We too will go to jail or be attacked or whatever. But anyway, that's about all I have for today, other than some announcements. So full of good news. Anyway, May 29th, we're having our next meeting, Michigan Matters meeting, at the office at 39099 Garfield, Clinton Township, Michigan. And at that meeting, we are privileged to have Tudor Dixon with us at that meeting. So we're very looking forward to that. She is toying with the idea of running for office, and it'll be good to see her again, and she'll be our guest speaker. On June 5th, we are having a wine tasting, and you can find that on our website at michiganmatters.org. You can write out Michigan or put mimatters.org and go to our website. There's a calendar there, and you can get information on the wine tasting, and that should be a lot of fun. And lastly, I'd like to wish you all a very happy Memorial Day weekend. I hope that sometime during this weekend that you can think about our veterans, think about all those people that lost their lives defending this nation. That's why we have to defend it now too, you know. Ronald Reagan said it's not in our blood, it has to be defended, our liberty. And the thought of this nation failing after so many thousands, countless thousands gave their lives for the freedoms that we now share. I hope you can find some time to remember them this weekend, and I hope you and your family have an absolutely wonderful weekend. And thank you for being here, and we'll see you next week. Thank you.